Are you on?
It has been on for some time.
Oh my god. So here's the deal, man. It's looking beautiful in Aurelia. It was raining yesterday at this time, and fingers crossed, they're trying to take some of these layers out because it's beautiful and it's going to be warm, hope so. So here's Andy, and it's gonna Hell's 500. He'll tell you what that is. So it's a beautiful day because finally we're doing maybe a pretty big climbing event in Aurelia. And Aurelia has been close to us for a long time, Andy, because down in Colombo we are at 0 degrees, 0 altitude there, right? And we have no place to climb. So for me personally, when I started this whole cycling thing, it was just a bike to work thing on a foldable bike. And read Lance's book. It's not about the bike, and started buying a racing bike. And then I just took off to the hills because everybody said hills are the toughest. And I said, hey, why don't I go and have a look at it? So that's how I fell in love with the whole concept of climbing on a bike. And then you learn the meditation in it, the mindfulness, the search that you go through digging deep. I mean, it's unbelievable when you go through one of those climbing experiences. So how has it been for you? And
yeah, I mean, it's interesting you talk about the meditation aspect because it's so easy to talk about this glory and suffering that a lot of cycling brands will bring in. But the reality is there is some amazing moments that you can have when you're really stripped bare in an endurance event, and all you can really think about is just riding your bike, pure and simple. You're so connected to the moment. I do a lot of yoga.
Yeah, you do?
The stretching and the flexibility and for core strength. And so much about yoga is also about mindfulness and connection, being in the moment. And there's techniques that they do where they actually, inflict a little bit of pain, and that's really just to draw you into that moment. And I feel like I get very similar moments on the bike in endurance events such as Everesting. So it's a rare and kind of privileged moment to be able to kind of feel that.
Absolutely. And when climbers stop, they probably understand what it means. That moment of, the high gradient, and it's more to go, and you see the winding road up there, and you know what I mean, right? So the easy option is there for you. Just turn back, it's a downhill. But
I think you've just described the Hell's 500 and Everesting community perfectly.
Okay.
And I think it's because it's a group of ragtag, crazy-minded riders who are drawn together by this same passion for just cycling uphill and for just discovering new places. And I know as we're driving from Colombo up here through the mountains, my mouth is just it's like this the whole time. I'm seeing the beautiful landscapes and climbing through the tea fields and seeing the eucalypts and the big boulders. It's amazing.
So today we are going to do this event on this segment called Radella. Pretty famous because Radella has been like one of those challenging terrains, and it used to be also a bit of a circuit for motorists. And even that was done. So finally the road's carpeted, and it's going to be a beautiful, track to do a cycle challenge. So my little 5-6 years of searching around in this area for road cycling climbs. So you have like 4 roads leading to the world. This is like the highest.
Is this the 4 hours?
Yeah, the 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours. So it's going to be today we are going to see Radella. Then we got another climb through Ragala. Then if you come from the Kandy side, which is another beautiful place. It's like the second city of Sri Lanka. So there you get a climb called Radella, and then again one called Rendapolla. And all of this, if you really go to see, we'll go to a place which we call the Horton Plains, the beautiful plains, if you ever go to see. And there's a place called the World's End. So it's like a big steep drop where people go there because the scenery is beautiful. So the next big dream is to have like a World's End type of ride. It already sounds good with all the R's,
Absolutely.
the 4XR.
Just to confirm that today we're just doing one Everesting.
We're only doing one.
Okay. Just to check.
Yes. So we don't have the Alps, we don't have the Pyrenees, but this is our climbing, terrain and our climbing temple, I would say.
I think the wonderful thing about the Everesting Challenge, and it's now being completed in 84 different countries all around the world by 3,500 riders. You can do that Everesting Challenge on any hill and gradient, but when you see rides like this, I mean, this is really special. This is truly something special.
Yeah, I truly believe what you said. So you got to quickly tell us about a little journey on how you as an endurance runner that moment and how this whole thing happened, right?
Yeah, I think I've always been interested in pushing the boundaries of what's possible for myself for running. And so I was always taking part in endurance runs and 100-kilometre runs and things like that. And I was actually out on one of those runs. I had no real interest in cycling other than just pure transport, like you were saying before, just to get from A to B. And I was out on this ride and we'd come out, out on a run, come out where a road came out. There was mist in the trees, it was freezing cold, and the sun was just breaking through, and there were like streams of light. It was.
I can imagine that visual.
This is my horrible script, but it actually happened. And the sunlight streamed down, and a rider on a bright orange Escudero, like similar to this, on an Orbea came climbing around the corner. And as he did, he got out of the saddle and was just gently rocking back and forth. You know this?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And just to see that, I knew at that moment that I would get into cycling, and that specifically at the hill climb, it just looked so beautiful, and I knew that I wanted to be part of that. And I also knew that whenever I did get into cycling, that I wanted to sort of imbue that beauty into the riding that I was doing myself. So I took that combination of visiting different places along with this endurance idea and pushing the limits of what's possible, and that's where the Gold Hills 500 came from, and eventually led to this challenge for Everesting.
Fantastic, man. We just finished a couple of months ago what we called Race the Pearl, which is like a 600 kilometers. So I believe the 500 came from one of those big rides. So I think it's great to a climber to meet a climber. And here we are, man, doing Everesting in Sri Lanka. We just thought 4 or 5 people would be as lunatic as a couple of us. But we've got 25 of them.
25.
And there are 20-year-old kids saying, you want to give it a try.
Amazing.
And so that's great, man. So fantastic. Thank you so much, Andy, for coming here. Angela, who's probably running around getting all these beautiful parade organized. And so let's go and have some fun.
Sounds great.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you
so much. This tea is really good. There's no sugar in it. It just